So I've owned a Nest Hello for about a year now, and I wanted to do a review on my thoughts after a year of ownership. I have to say, these little cameras are great. They give a really easy way to keep track of my home. I've been using them not only as a doorbell, but also as kind of like a simple security camera method. I have one set up in the front and one set up in the back. And for the most part, they're pretty good at giving notifications anytime somebody comes to the door. When someone comes up and presses the button, the Nest app notifies me on my phone so that I know that someone's come to the door and rung the doorbell. Now, I don't currently have it set up to anything inside, no actual physical doorbell or to any Google Homes. Right now I just use it off my phone. So far it's been a good way of keeping tabs on my house when I'm not here. So I think the cameras look really good. They have a really nice form factor. They were pretty easy to install. And what I also really like is that at night, when people walk up or get close to the camera, the entire face of the camera lights up nice and bright so that people can see that you do have a camera watching them. So when I first bought the cameras, they came in these really nice packages and they came with most of what you need to get set up. The only thing that I had to buy, since my house didn't have an existing doorbell button at the front door, was a little wall transformer that I was able to plug the cameras into. And those were pretty cheap. They were around $15 each from an electronics supply store. So inside the box, they came with some cables that are made to integrate with an existing doorbell. So you take these cables and you hook them up to your existing bell. That way your Nest Hello doorbell camera could trigger a real doorbell to ring. In my case, I just use it off my phone because I don't have a real doorbell right now. So what I also really liked was that they gave you a box with all of the materials that you need to actually mount the doorbell to the wall. It came with a masonry drill bit. That way you could drill through any brick or stone to put these plastic anchors into the wall. And they also gave you the screws to screw into the plastic anchors to mount the doorbell camera on the wall, as well as some wiring so you could hook it up to any existing power cables that were there from a previous doorbell. So that was really good. The Nest also provides you with a bracket which can change the angle that the camera sits at on the wall. So if you need the camera to face slightly more towards one direction, you can put this behind the camera as you install it on the wall. I had to use one of these on my back door because my back door faces at a 90-degree angle from the staircase that people walk up to access the actual door. So what I liked about the bracket as well was that it gave a little bit more space behind the camera to put the wires on. I feel like that made it a little bit easier to install. So they also give you a bracket. To get all the features of this camera, you have to subscribe to the Nest Aware package. And for me, I think it costs just a little bit under $100 a year. But I found it totally worth it. The Nest Aware subscription has given me video history, so it saves all the video that the camera takes for the last 5 days. So if there's any time I want to look back at from the last 5 days, all I have to do is go into the app or online, and I can look at anything that's happened on the cameras in the last couple days. And it also sends you notifications based on when people come or if there's any movement at all. So what I did is on my cameras, I set it just to tell me when people come, because I didn't want notifications every single time a car drove by. I found them to be great. So I'll show you why I really like this feature. In these videos here, you can see that I had people coming over to my house to do work. And as you can see the first video here with the guy with the ladder and the second video, the guy with the toolbox, I could see exactly when people were coming over and verify that the different contractors were actually coming on time. So in this video, which was recorded at around 1 o'clock in the morning, my Nest app sent me a notification that somebody was on my driveway. And as you can see from the video, it looks like someone might have been coming to scope up my house. So as I was watching the video live, I prepared to call 911 if necessary. But I think once the person saw the camera light up, he decided to leave because he knew he had been seen. In this next video, my Nest app sent me a notification that the dumpster on my front yard had been picked up. So I really like the Nest Hello doorbell cam because it gives me notifications when people come to my driveway. And in a case like this, it let me confirm that the dumpster that I was waiting to get picked up had actually been picked up, especially since I'd been getting a lot of complaints from the neighbors because it had been sitting there for a really long time. This is one of the most interesting things that I've ever seen on my Nest camera. As you can see, a police car came roaring down my street with its lights on, and it just so happened to be a canine unit. So you can see the police officer coming down my driveway with his German Shepherd,
and he goes into my backyard, I guess to look for a suspect. So this was kind of scary because I don't know who they were looking for. I don't know if anybody had come into my backyard before this. But the trouble was, the Nest camera didn't actually send me any notification that this had happened, even though the officer and his dog crossed into several of the motion zones that I had set. My Nest app didn't send me any notification of this, so I had no idea it had even happened until my neighbor, who saw the police car as well, texted me to ask if I knew it was happening. It was only then that I knew to check the camera. This was kind of a problem though, because I feel like if someone had come down the driveway, I wouldn't have had any idea. So another really cool feature of the Nest Hello doorbells is the ability to have two-way audio conversations. So in this video, you can see when a building inspector came to my house to check up on a garage that I was building. So I wasn't home at the time, but my Nest app informed me that someone had come to the door. So when I saw that it was the building inspector, I was able to have a two-way audio conversation with him. However, this feature isn't perfect. As you'll see in this video here, the audio feed actually cut out unexpectedly, and the app crashed. And this has happened to me a few times over the year of owning it. So sometimes when I've been having really important conversations, like this one, the audio feed will just cut out and it'll stop working. So this feature definitely isn't perfect.
So, in summary, are the cameras perfect? No. Do they replace having a standalone security camera system? No. But for what they are and how much they cost, I think they're great. I highly recommend them. I definitely recommend subscribing to the Nest Aware plan and keeping tabs on your home.